Welcome to The Complete Teacher, 101 meaningful, bite-sized professional development lessons, each coming with thought-provoking titles, relevant, inspiring quotes, helpful text with anecdotes, data, and wisdom, and action steps. Lesson 76, Educational Buzzwords. Salman Khan says, "Don't throw out buzzwords without really knowing what is going on behind it." I can't tell you how many times I went into a meeting and heard educational acronyms and phrases that were foreign to me. Sometimes I faked it, other times I asked about them later, but it still would have been best to know what people were talking about instead of having to puzzle it out. Below is an organized directory of common buzzwords, phrases, and acronyms used in education. This is by no means an exhaustive list, and a list like this is also subject to change as years advance. Some educational buzzwords lose their buzz. Some are pedantic, and others are here to stay. Here are 30 such words and phrases to consider. Benchmarks, a point of reference against which something is compared or assessed. Best practices, procedures that are accepted or promoted as being most effective. Blended learning, a combination of online resources with traditional classroom methods. Checking for understanding, measuring student knowledge or skills before moving forward. Closure, recapping a main idea or learning objective for a lesson or learning segment. Common Core, the essential standards adopted by most states to develop college-ready skills in students. Cooperative learning, an approach to teaching that requires students to work together to complete tasks. Culturally responsive pedagogy, knowing your students and taking their cultures into consideration while teaching. Differentiated instruction, a framework that provides different students with different ways of learning. Flipped classroom, reversing traditional learning by delivering content at home and engaging content in class. Formative assessment, informal evaluations of student comprehension, needs, and progress. Gradual release of responsibility, devolving teacher responsibility, increasingly giving independence to the learning. Growth mindset, believing knowledge and skills aren't fixed, but grow through hard work, good strategies, and attitude. Higher order thinking skills, beyond recall, asking students to apply, analyze, synthesize, and evaluate material. IEP, from the 2004 IDEA Act, a specialized school experience plan for a child with an identified learning disability. Inquiry-based, presenting problems and scenarios while asking students to be their own investigative agents. Instructional rounds, classroom visits aimed to recognize and develop high-quality instruction. Learning objective, the target or goal for students to achieve through the lesson, often knowledge or skills. Personalized learning, pedagogy, curriculum, and environments tailored to meet individual learner needs or interests. Primary source document, raw materials of history, the text or media from an event or time period under study. Professional development, coursework, conferences, or other learning to maintain credentials or improve practices. Professional learning community, educators collaborating regularly to share expertise to improve teaching and learning. Progress monitoring, considering student growth or development and adjusting instruction accordingly. Rigor, learning experiences that are academically, intellectually, and/or personally challenging. Scaffolding, providing support that allows students to build capacity during instruction as skills and concepts are introduced. Specialized academic instruction, instruction that is separate from the general education learning environment. Standards-based unit of study, using standards as the foundation for curriculum, instruction, and assessment. Structured student interaction, purposely planning opportunities for accountable language production during a lesson. Summative assessment, a formal evaluation of student comprehension at the end of an instructional unit. Zone of proximal development, the difference between what a learner can do, unaided, and what they can't yet do. 504 plan, from the 1973 Rehabilitation Act, a provision of services or changes so a child equitably accesses education. Action steps. Make a copy of this list. Add to it as new or recurring buzzwords and terms come about in your profession. Share it with the new teacher. Need a copy of all the Complete Teacher lessons on slides? Looking for an e-reader or physical copy of the Complete Teacher? Want to browse thousands of other top-rated engaging resources? Check out the links below.